Hi, everybody. Well, good news and bad news. My titles don't match what I'm going to talk about for the last couple of days, but I'm getting rid of videos. So, so today's topic is Karen Read thoughts. Because we haven't finished the day yet, so I don't really have too many thoughts on today yet. Okay, but I have thoughts on what I've seen for the last couple of days. Um, and I'm gonna focus on yesterday, and because I already talked about the day before, so I'm not gonna talk about that again. But I'll talk about yesterday. Um, okay. So yesterday was interesting because they actually had two juvenile witnesses, and it was John O'Keefe's niece and nephew. The thing about kids is they can't have their identity shown or even known because of privacy issues. Okay, but that's separate from what I think. And I don't think I'm the only one who feels this way. Number one, why are you using juvenile witnesses to begin with? Unless they have some um, I don't know, like a piece of evidence that no one else would know, or something that you think is going to blow the case open, or something like that. Why use them? You can use adults and experts to get the same point across. That's always going to be my thought there. Okay. Number two, apparently, and I heard it when it happened, but I didn't believe it because it was so jarring in the moment. And then I was had a moment of disbelief. Like, what? Did they really say that? Okay, so what happened is uh, David Yannetti, one of Karen Read's lawyers, was trying to ask a question, and he wasn't getting anywhere because the judge just wasn't allowing it for some reason. And he tried at least 3 times asking the question different ways, and it just wasn't happening. So he said, I need a sidebar. And she said, okay, I'll hear you. And somebody called somebody a bad word that starts with an A. Okay? Go through your lexicon of bad words and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, everybody thinks, well, a lot of people think it was a judge, but I also didn't know that there's a mic on counsel table, so it could be another lawyer who called him that. And then I was watching Runkle of the Bailey, which is great. Kind of a sidebar here. You should become a subscriber of his channel because he's got 290,000 subscribers and he really wants to get to 300,000. So if you could help him out, that would be great. Okay. Okay. So I watch his recaps every night, and he said, "Well, maybe hold on. Well, what he said was, we don't know if it was the judge who said that, and you know, you shouldn't ultimately assume that one person did it or another. And also, he said that a lot of people think it's going to be the thing that ends the trial because of biased behavior. It shows biased behavior, but he says it's not going to be the thing that you want it to be. So I didn't think about it like that, but it makes sense. Um, okay, now I kind of talked about this woman a little bit yesterday because I was trying to give you guys a small window into what's going on in the trial. And whenever there's what I consider boring witnesses, I try to like give you as little detail so I don't bore you as well. Um, okay. So the last witness for the Commonwealth was Maureen Hartnett. And I remembered her from the first trial, and she was still as whatever, monotone and everything as the first trial. But also, I gotta give her this much credit. She doesn't lie. Like, she tells the truth, even if it's damaging to her and damaging to her side. So, I gotta give her credit for that. Now, she's still on the stand today. She's the first witness because they're finishing the cross from yesterday. So I don't know how long she's gonna be on the stand. I would think not too long. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch it after that and see what witnesses they call after her because right now and actually for a while now I've been thinking that they're just trying to pull um I forget what their phrase is, but like pulling at straws, meaning they have no real evidence or no real foundation of much. So they're just trying to pull at anything they think they can grasp at, grasping at straws. They're totally grasping at straws here. And if you look at it every day like I do, you can see that they're just trying to do any which way that, it couldn't have happened the way the defense says it happened. But everything, even from this trial, forgetting the first one, like that's what I try to do every day. I try to forget that I watched the first trial. Okay. And I try to make judgments, decisions, whatever, based on this trial alone. From day one till now, they've been grasping at straws the whole time. Well, the Commonwealth defense has state studied that there was no car accident. So, but if the defense had something, they would use what they have. But too many times I've seen their own witness contradict their viewpoint, and that makes me believe it's just a story, which I've talked about before. But okay, so the way an investigation and a trial should go is if you have the facts, you let the facts lead you. You don't create a story. You don't get everything and then have a story to go around whatever. It's not the way you do it. It's not. Any lawyer, anybody will tell you that's not how you do it. And I feel like that's how they've been doing it since pretty early on, if not the total beginning. So those are just some of my thoughts. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so long, but apparently that's been on my brain for a while. So, all right, bye guys.